Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann. I'm also known as the Habit Fixer, and I love helping women to regain their mojo and age well. I do that with EFT, which is a really simple tapping technique, nutrition, skincare, and digital products. And I've got a lovely guest today. Her name is Wendy Norman, and she's a business coach and also the MD of Livelink Resource. And what she does is she supports private healthcare clinics to grow. So if you know someone with a private healthcare clinic, or you've got one, or you're thinking of starting one, then this is the call for you. So welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
So lovely to see you. And I know you're going to be talking about just one habit that you say will grow your business consistently.
I am, and it's not hard to understand. It's really, really obvious, this one, because I often ask businesses when they're starting up, and you know what it's like when you're starting up, you're flailing around all over the place because you don't really know what you're doing. Let's be honest, you don't know what you're doing.
In a
And
nutshell.
I was there 15 years ago now, goodness me. Yeah, what do they say? All the gear and no idea. That was me. And I think that goes for most of us. We
Yes.
think we know our bit, and we know that really well, but we don't know how to actually run a business. We haven't a Scooby-Doo unless it's in the family, and then you might have an idea. So what I often ask people, I said, when they're starting out is, what do you need in your business? What do you need more of? It's a bit of a coachy question, isn't it? Sorry. But it's very valid, because the answers, I would say 95% of the time is always, I want more clients, I want more customers, I want more patients. Whatever it is, they want more people buying what they are selling. So that sounds really obvious, doesn't it? So you think, okay, and my question is then, what are you doing every single day to get more clients, patients, and customers?
Good question.
Because to get those people into your business, particularly if you're a product-driven business and you need a lot of repeat people, which actually makes it even tougher, you need to be doing something every day that actually is attracting the people that you want to buy from you in your business. Which, as I said at the beginning, it sounds a really obvious answer. And it is an obvious answer.
So how do people, how do you coach people to go about that, Wendy?
Yeah, I mean, when I coach people, I say this is not going to be easy. You know, as you know, running a business is never easy. It is going to take a considerable amount of time or money, possibly both. And probably more time than anything else, particularly when you're a small business, because you don't have the funds to start outsourcing all those fabulous things to other people. So what I say to people is, and they'll all go, and people then go look at me in horror at this point, because they're busy. They're busy. We know that. So I say, you need to set a time aside every single day, whether it be the morning, whether it be the evening, whether you've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or whether, I'm sorry, you're not going to bed at midnight if you're an early bird and it's the other end of the day, and that's not great either. But every day you're going to have to find an hour of time, set it aside in stone. It's, you know, don't let it go by the wayside. And in that hour, start thinking what you can do to grow your business, what you can do to bring people, clients in, customers in, to sell your business, your service, or your product. And I know now, if people are not used to this, they're thinking, well, I can't find an hour. Well, try and find an hour every sort of 3 days a week. Just try and find a slot. There must be a slot somewhere that you can box off and say, that is when I'm not going to be disturbed, because that's really crucial. You don't want kids running in and out. You don't want the phone ringing, anything like that. So where you're not going to be disturbed, where you can absolutely concentrate on doing something that's going to grow your business. And I've got loads of suggestions if anybody wants to hear them, what you
Oh my
can
goodness,
do.
absolutely. I guess the thing is that maybe someone can find you know, 6 lots of 10 minutes or 3 lots of 20 minutes. You know, it is that thing about consistency, isn't it? And like you
Yeah,
say, having
yeah.
the customers, the clients, you know, to benefit from whatever it is that you're offering is key to the success of a business. So I'm really glad you brought this up, Wendy, because even though, you know, you say it's obvious, but people don't do that, do they? And that's the thing, is because they make the excuse of not having enough time. But actually, if something's important, we make the time to do it, don't we? And actually, we can fritter away so much time. You know, if we actually work out time spent doing this and that, actually we'll find that often there is actually more than enough time. It's just about making it a priority. And of course, if you want
Yeah.
I can't say it, successful business, that does need to be a priority, doesn't it?
It does need to be a priority. Otherwise, you're just playing and tinkering around and it becomes a hobby. And then you think, I'm not getting anywhere. Woe is me. And you will have the pity party and the woe is me. And then you'll slink off and say, oh, I couldn't do it, couldn't make it work and get a job. But actually, no, you're right. You couldn't, you know, the answer is there. No, you couldn't make it work because you were not doing the right things at the right time
Yeah.
for this. And was not a habit. And it has to be consistent. You have to have some consistency. And I'm not going to lie, I still do it now. And it's not easy. Some of it is boring as well, really boring. But you have to do those things. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to grow your business.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be easy, and it's simple, isn't it? It's a simple habit, but it is about just having it be a habit and making sure that we do it. And you're right, you know, a lot of things that sometimes we have to do that are incredibly boring. We don't want to do them because they're boring. We want something that gives us a reward immediately. But actually, the thing about growing a business is it's not an immediate reward, is it?
No, it's not an immediate reward. I'm trying to think of the phrase that somebody I know used, and it was like, not everybody can do it because it's putting in a lot of hard work that other people won't be doing because they're not prepared to do it. So you can end up with a lifestyle that they only dream of.
I love that. I love that because, yeah, I mean, people just don't want to do it. They just don't do it intrinsically. I think, well, as humans, we're quite lazy.
Yeah,
We
we are.
as we possibly can, but
Yeah,
it's really getting the bigger picture and the why are we doing it and what is it we actually want, rather than looking at, I don't feel like it right now.
yeah,
So you're
yeah.
saying that you have a few suggestions. Do you want to tell us about those suggestions?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, right at the beginning, you need to start to think about what you want in, say, 5, 10, 15 years. I know you think, oh, God, no, I don't know. I just want a business. But what kind of business? What do you want that to look like? Because I will use me as an example. I hadn't a clue, as I said, 14, 15 years ago. And I thought, I'm going to go to this exhibition. I'm going to put my roller banner up here and everybody will see me. Way, I'm going to get loads of clients. Well, I didn't get one. But what I did get set me up for life. He was a business coach. He didn't give me his name, actually. He gave me a book. And he came over and gave me a book called The E-Myth by somebody, Gerb, I can't remember his first name. And he said, read that. And I read it and I got it, because I don't know whether you've read it, but the book itself is about the difference between being a worker, a manager, or a business owner. And it's a very easy book to read, actually. It's about a pie shop. This lady loved making pies, so she opened a pie shop. She then started to hate making them because she was doing everything, including sweeping the floors, cleaning the sinks, you know, doing the accounts, everything else, detested it. So to get her from the worker bee to a business owner, other processes had to be put in place. And what it was getting the recipe exactly right, getting somebody else to make the pies exactly as she would. And then she became a business owner.
Wow, I love
And
that.
when I read that, I thought, yeah, I don't want to be doing the doing. Thank you very much. No.
Changed everything.
Yeah, it did. It changed everything. It
So,
changed everything I did, because at
can
that
I
point,
sorry to
I,
interrupt you, but I'm just so excited to ask you, you know, what was it that you changed right after reading that book that then
yeah,
made the difference to springboard your business, Wendy?
yeah. At that point, I was a virtual assistant, ex NHS, ex hotelier. So I had some pretty good skills. And so I had this grand idea that I could parachute people into GP practices to do their admin. Actually, it's a really good idea. It still is. If anybody wants it and has the money to do it, go for it. because the idea was I would go in at my cost, learn their system inside out, and then when they needed me because their secretary or auditor or whatever was off sick or on holiday, I could parachute in for a small amount of hours and just do it. Of course, there were flaws in this because it had to be local. Because there was just me at that point. And that's what I did, actually. I was doing that. And that money supported me to move on, to be fair. But I could not make it work because it would have ended up more like a recruitment agency as well. And you had to get people on board that were, and it became very hard. I still think it's a good idea. So when I read that, I thought, okay, I get it now. Okay, what I'm going to do is still work in healthcare, but I'm going to do it remotely for private healthcare clinics rather than NHS led, because NHS is not easy. So, and I thought, how can I best do that? And how can I get to where I want? Well, what I need is a team of people, because if I don't want to work in it, I'm going to need other people too. So I had this huge gap of having very little money, just enough to pay my own bills, and wanting a team of people. So I had to put a plan in how to get from A to B there as well, which I did. I mean, I'm not going to say this was easy. I'm really not. You know, if anyone thinks, oh, that's a great idea, I can do that. Yeah, I was up at before 5 every morning. My timetable was ridiculous. I was up before 5 every morning. I might have gone to breakfast networking. We opened our doors at 8:30. Well, I did. I'd then be at my desk from 8:30 until 6 p.m. solid. I might then go to another networking meeting in the evening, and then I would work on my business. It was hardcore.
How long for, Wendy?
5 years.
Okay.
Not actually not entirely without people in that. I did that practically for 5 years. Some of it I let go because I could then do some of the work during the day, because I did have a couple of part-time employees, and now I've got several.
Brilliant. I mean, so although you say not easy, worth it, because what you have now is a very successful business. So 5 years of grafting like you did, rather than expecting it to be easy, and which, you know, I mean, they say easy, sleazy, whatever. But you know, rather than expecting that, you just put in the graft.
Yeah.
You know, you leaned in when you needed to, and now it's paid off. And it's such a great story, Wendy, so inspiring. So what is the name of that book again? Because it may be something that people can pick up, like you have a light bulb moment.
It's called The E-Myth Revisited. E as in the letter E. E-Myth Revisited, and the author is Gerber, Gerber. I can't remember his first name.
I think probably the title will be enough, but that is so.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before
anything else I want to add? Yeah, interesting what you because you're right, those 5 years have formed a basis for where I am now, and I am just about to move house, literally moving to the North Norfolk coast, and I'm in a situation I can keep my house here. I live on my own, I'm independent. This is all doing my money. There's no other income coming in. And funny enough, the accountant had to send a reference yesterday to the mortgage people. And one of the questions on that was, what happens if I'm no longer in the business and stand down? And his reply was, Miss Norman already takes extended holidays and is often not working in the business.
Fabulous. And I know one of the things you say is that I'm not cheap.
No.
You say that now.
Yeah, I do.
Can you just, like that, honestly, so many questions. You just tell people the value in setting your price like that.
Yeah, there is. I mean, because, gosh, being cheap, there's always going to be somebody cheaper. And people, some things are commoditized, I'm going to be honest. Some things like printing is commoditized. Some products are commoditized. But a lot of things are not commoditized. And it's going to be the way they're marketed that is going to appeal to people. I mean, I'm going to use examples of podiatrists. So apologies to if there's any podiatrists I'm going to talk about here now. I'm so sorry. I don't mean this rudely, but with love. If you're charging £35, £40 an appointment, you're never, ever going to build a business, A, that you can sell, or B, that's going to really take off. Never. I have podiatrists who are not in very wealthy areas that charge over £100 for an appointment. These are the ones that are working 3-day weeks. One of them only works 3 weeks out of 4 and goes on holiday every 4th week. This is how their lifestyle has changed. Going cheap, you're only going to attract people of a certain level, but there is lots of people out there that will not buy on price, but you need to get that message out, because if you're charging £35, I doubt you're any worse than that person charging 120. You've got the same training, you've probably got a master's degree, you're going to be just as lovely, if not even more lovely. But there's some, you know, why is one person up here and one charging that amount?
Because you value yourself, isn't it? It was about value, and that's so important. And a friend of
it's fear. I think it's a lot of fear in that people won't pay it, but they will.
Yeah.
And they don't want to let long-term patients down, particularly in the podiatry world where there's a lot of older people, I would say, and they've probably been seeing them for years.
Yes.
But you can gradually put that up, gradually.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that a friend of mine said years ago to me, and he could sell absolutely anything. He could sell, you know, snow to the Eskimos, you know. He said it's easier to sell a plane than it is to sell a nut or bolt. And I was like, what, are you kidding? He said, because people who want the plane have the money to buy the plane. They just want the plane. People who want a nut and bolt, you know, they just want to quibble over the price of it. And it was really such a, you know, eye opener for me.
Yeah. So you know, there are some businesses people probably wouldn't touch with a barge pole. A, they're saturated, and B, they're commoditized. And as you said, things like nuts and bolts, things like printing is always commoditized. Corporate gifts is commoditized. They are much more difficult to sell.
Oh, it's been such a joy talking to you. I know I've interrupted a few times, and I apologize for that. That's the problem with Zoom. But I've really appreciated all that you've contributed, Wendy. So if any of you listening or watching have really loved what Wendy's been talking about and felt it's really resonated with you, then do look at him from her. Her information, it will all be below this video in the description. Mine will be there as well, all my links. So reach out and ask a question, you know, get in touch with Wendy. So Wendy,
just say, I've also got a document, if anybody wants it, of all the things, all suggestions they could do in that hour or however long it is. I mean, some of them are going to take more than 1 hour, but it would be over stages. But I've got a load of ideas.
That would be amazing. And would that be something that they just email you for that, or would
email me
the description, or what's the best thing?
I don't know, up to you. Can go in the link below. I'm not
in the link below would be amazing. Fantastic. Extra bonus, everyone. So if you've really enjoyed this recording, then please, why not subscribe? You know, plenty more habits to come. And if you've really felt that somebody you know could benefit, or you are looking to grow your business, then please share it with other people too. So thank you ever so much, Wendy. I appreciate everything that you've said. And thank you everyone else for watching.
Thank you.